let me just... What's up, guys? It's your girl Ivana here, back at it with another video for you guys. Today's video is going to be about back to school tips, things that I wish I knew before I started high school, things that I have helped me while being in high school. Because, guys, if you don't know, you probably don't know, I'm going off to college. I just graduated. I'm so excited. So I think I am credible to be telling you guys some things that I wish that I knew. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into this video. But make sure that you like and subscribe to your girl's channel if you like these videos, if you want to see more. Without further ado, we're just going to get right into this video. The first tip that I have to give you guys is go into high school with an academic plan. And the reason why I say this, because it helps you be on track on where you want to go with your goals. But if you go to high school and you're just being free about what you want to do, where you want to be, and I don't mean like after high school, I just mean like what kind of student do you want to be while you're there? Because if you don't create an academic plan, you might not take your grades as seriously. You might not know what you need to get where you want to go. Like if you want to graduate early, you need to know what the prerequisites and everything that you need. So have an academic plan and, get ready. Number 2, take those daily grades seriously. So many people think that they don't have to take their daily grades seriously because they're just daily grades. But let me tell you, those daily grades add up. They add up. And you don't want them to add up if you've been taking zeros after zeros. Because say you have an 88 and you want a 90, but you're like 2 points away, and you're like, Mrs. Jenkins, I'm like 2 points away. I need to get to a 90. And she's like, I'm sorry, there's nothing else that I can do. And you're like, oh my gosh. And you go back and look at your grade book, and guess what? You've had a couple of zeros, a couple of 50s, too many L's, and you're just like, well, that's your fault. That's why you need to take them seriously. Take the major grades seriously too, of course, but do not slack on those daily grades. Don't. Number 3, surround yourself with the right people. This is important in high school because if you don't surround yourself with people who care about their grades and they don't care to come to class, then guess what? Most likely, you're going to turn into that type of student. That has happened to me, actually. So you want to make sure that you surround yourself with people who actually care about their grades and stuff like that, because if you don't, you might fall into that trap. And even if you don't fall into that trap, teachers see who you are hanging out with. And you don't want to ruin your reputation when it comes to teachers, because you never know whom they might recommend, and you're constantly networking. You never know who you might meet if you're doing good, okay? So just make sure that you surround yourself with great people that do great things. That way you can be great as well. Number 4, get involved and join clubs. Now, I say this. Do not just join a whole bunch of clubs because you think that it's going to look good on your college application. Don't just join a whole bunch of them just because, like, oh my gosh, I'm just joining all these clubs. I heard it looks good on college application. What looks better is getting involved with things that you love and excelling in them. Because when I was a freshman, I joined 3 clubs. I joined, or like club/sport or something like that. I joined the track team, and I joined the dance team, and I joined theater. When I was in track, I did not like it. I had so much anxiety every time I ran. I did not compete. I didn't like competing. I loved to run outside of school, so I thought I would love the track team, but I didn't. I had so much anxiety. And towards the end of the track season, I was going to run the 100, which I was very excited for because I never ran the 100 competitively. I always run the 800s because my coach kept putting me in the 800s. So I was super excited to do the 100 because I personally felt like I was better at sprinting than mid-distance. Okay, just know that I get really nervous for track meets. I almost pee every time. And I always had to go to the restroom all the time because I never had to stop having to pee. It never would stop, and I think it was a nerves thing, but it was horrible. Imagine every time you get nervous, you have this uncontrollable need to use the restroom. It's a nightmare, especially at a track meet. So I would always be having to go to the restroom. Finally, it was my time to race, and I was with this girl named Gigi. That wasn't her name, but I'm going to say her name was Gigi. And we both were running for our schools, and so we were about to run the 100. And we were just lined up, ready to go, fired up. And they shot the gun, and I was sprinted off with all my might. I was running like, I got this. Me and Gigi were in the lead, and we're like, we are fast. Like, no one can kill us. No one can burn this fire. And so, and so, then I hear people shouting, and we're like, what's happening? And we're like almost towards the end of the 100. And then we realized people were telling us to stop. And we're like, what? This whole time, we thought people were yelling at us, like, go, you go. Look at you running fast and getting first place. But no, they were telling us to stop. Because when we finally realized we were the only two running, we looked back and, like, everyone from the other schools were still there. Apparently, it was like the gun went off, but it was a false alarm. So we ran with all our might, all our energy, just to find out that we weren't in the lead. We just were the only ones running. How embarrassing is that? So when it was time for us to actually run, we were burnt. I mean, I don't think we got last, or I think we did get last. I don't know. But we were burnt, tired. And so, yeah, we didn't win that one. So that's what happened with track. I didn't continue it after freshman year. And then I had the dance team that I joined. The dance team was a good group. It's just that I had social anxiety. I feel like anxiety is everywhere. I always had anxiety. So anxiety, my teacher knew that I had anxiety because my mom emailed her. So she was a little more nicer with me and she understood me more. And so when I had to join the dance team, I just didn't like it. I didn't make a lot of friends. Everyone had their little cliques in dance, and I was not a part of those cliques. Therefore, I was not excited to go to practice because who am I going to talk to? It probably would have been fun if I had a very strong passion for dance or I had a lot of friends. But no, I did not have a lot of friends there. I didn't want to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning before school to go to practice. I would never be excited for it. So I ended up quitting that. And then, like I said, I had theater. Theater, I stayed with my whole high school time. I stayed in theater. I love theater. I remember going into theater and I was like, this is amazing. Everyone doesn't care. People are just... My first year wasn't so like that because first year theater, most people just join it for a credit, like just because. But as soon as I was getting into theater and realized how amazing these people were, they didn't care what people thought about them. And most of these people were different. That was the most exciting thing. Being around different people is just... who don't care and accept you for who you are. It was a perfect place for me. I loved theater. And I remember telling myself, when I reach my senior year, I want to be in the pro class. And I did. That just shows you that if you get involved in something that you actually loved, excel in it. My senior year was my best year. I got lead roles in 2 different plays. I was so happy. I met so many amazing people, and my senior year was my highlight year, definitely. And I also joined my Red Poet Club, which was a poetry club, and it was more like slam poetry. So you express your feelings, things that are going on in the world, different things that you might feel, depression, anxiety, all kinds of different issues that teenagers go through, or we as humans go through. And so I joined the Red Poet Club, and it was also a place where I felt like I was invited. I didn't feel left out. I expressed myself, and once again, I networked with so many amazing people because of poetry. I went to Galveston, performed with so many different people, and if you don't know about that, I have a vlog on going to Galveston and performing in front of people, and I was this shy kid, so this was an accomplishment for me. Like, I was this shy, social anxiety, and here I am performing in front of a lot of people. Same with my senior year. I joined the talent show, and I did my poetry in front of a lot of people and sang, and I was so proud of myself for coming that far. You just have to stick with something and excel and do things outside of school involving that, and that's what looks better on a college application. Alright guys, I was like halfway recording, and I was halfway through my video, I guess. Well, actually no, I finished the whole video just to realize that it only got up to number 5 of my list. So we're going to start off on number 5 again because my camera wants to be so moody today. Alright, so number 5 on my list was do not cheat your way through high school. Because a lot of people do this, and it is not good because you're only cheating yourself. And at the end of the day, you have to go to college and you cheated your way through, and it's going to be a lot harder for you. You don't want to do that. Don't go around cheating your test, getting answers from other people, not doing the work, and you're not really gaining anything for yourself. And it goes the other way as well. If you're a person that always gets your work done and people are always asking you for your work, don't feel obligated to give them your work. You have to figure out some type of stance and stand your ground on what you think is right or wrong. I mean, if you want to give your work to other people, that's fine, but don't feel pressure to give your work to everyone, and realize that that's your work. You worked hard for it while that other person is sitting there doing nothing. Number 6, as soon as you don't get something in class, go to tutorials. Also, if you're in class and you don't get something and you don't see anyone asking the question that you need, raise your hand. I know it can be like, someone can be like, why is she asking that question? Or like, oh my goodness, does she not know that? Like, what? Don't be afraid. And sometimes people aren't even saying that. Some people need that question as well. Don't think that everyone's judging you in your head. You're the one that's getting that A. You're going to get A in class, getting all your work done, paying it off, being a boss and such, and going to tutorials after you don't get something. It's just one of those simple things that really keep you up with getting good grades, you know? Number 7, this kind of goes in with number 6, is constantly checking your grades. You want to constantly check your grades to make sure that everything is in order. And sometimes teachers also make mistakes, and you want to make sure you're there to catch it. That happened to me several times where teachers make a mistake, or you didn't do as good as you thought you were, and that's when you go to the teacher and say, oh, why did I do this? Why did I get that? And by already have checking your grades, you have time to retake it. But if you don't check your grades, you might risk the possibility of losing that chance to retake your test, retake that grade or whatever. So just make sure that you are constantly checking your grades, which is another tip on how to get good grades in high school. So there you go. Number 8 is kind of like a nerdy thing, I guess. Not really. You just want to make sure that you arrive on time to class or arrive early. I can be accused of this because when I was a freshman, I would get good grades, but I would always arrive tardy to my first period class, English. And it was like every single day, and I ended up getting detention for having so many tardies, which is so, like, you don't want to get detention for having tardies, and you don't want to get detention at all, like, especially for a reason like that, just for being late to class. And when you arrive early, you just feel ready to go, like you're just bossing out, like you got your pen, you got your paper, you're like ready to go, sophisticated and such. Have your stuff together, like get working, get grinding. Number 9. Who cares about being popular and what people think? Do not get wrapped up into that. And don't feel like you have to be a part of those cliques. And don't bring yourself down because you're not a part of those cliques. Have your own group of friends that make you happy, and you will do just fine. And sometimes the people who are the popular kids, it's not going to matter when you go to college. You're going to go your separate ways. You're going to go off into different paths, and it's not going to matter what Suzanne Bell Pepper said 2 years ago. Don't care what people think, because a lot of people think that if you start doing what you want to do, people are going to care about what you're doing and how it's not like the other kids. Who cares? Number 10 is be prepared for class, which is kind of like being early to class. It's just like have a pencil, because I was like one of those kids who never had a pencil, which is so bad. Like, teachers get annoyed by that, I'm pretty sure. Like, when you ask for that one utensil that you obviously need for school and you just don't have it, like, get your life together, Ivana. That's what I would say to myself. Like, why do you not have a pencil all the time? Like, it's just not good. Make sure you have your pencils ready before you go to class. Everything that you need. Be prepared, okay? Okay. Is it normal what you are feeling? Yes, it is. Other people are probably feeling the same exact thing that you are feeling, because high school is just a bunch of emotional kids. They're growing up confused, trying to figure out where they're trying to go. And sometimes you don't even always have it figured out, even when you're about to graduate from high school. And so it's just important that you know that there are other people feeling this way. And like I said before, find people who know how to comfort you in the right way, to keep guiding you. Find a teacher that helps you go through whatever you're feeling. Find friends that help you go through whatever you're feeling in the right way. So someone that you can vent to. And after all that being said, that is the end of this video. I hope that you guys have an amazing journey on wherever you're going, whether it's high school, college, or whatever it is. Just make sure to stay happy, positive, and most of all, stay laser beam focused until you reach that goal on whatever you want to do in life. And so, without further ado, that is it for this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe to your girl's channel if you really liked it. I also have some clothes that I possibly want to give away. If you're interested in that, just comment down below, and that will be it for this video. I will see you guys next time, and have an amazing 2018-2019 year.